The Marvel Universe is constantly introducing new heroes and villains. But I still think Captain Marvel is the strongest. When Captain Marvel first came out, there was a lot of talk about her stats, and then Thanos, the Ultimate King, appeared in earnest with Avengers. When I saw Captain Marvel in action, I honestly didn't have the impression that her stats were as strong as I thought. Still, even as the universe expands, I think she is the best hero in terms of stats. Nowadays, there are more powerful villains, but Marvel is still in the name. Moreover, since it's Captain Marvel, it would be an exaggeration to say that it's the best. This time, I was looking forward to the Marvels because Park Seo-joon appeared above all. If I talk about the conclusion, I think I was a little caught. It's true that Park Seo-joon appears, but for some reason, I felt that the information about Park Seo-joon was somewhat weak when the Marvels came out. After all, it's a supporting role, but it's no exaggeration to say that it's a very small supporting role. Honestly, Ms. Marvel's mom, dad, and uncle get a lot more screen time than Park Seo-joon, both in terms of volume and importance. Park Seo-joon gets maybe 5 minutes of screen time at most. Brie Larson said in an interview that he's the most famous person she's ever worked with, and I wonder if he's that famous. He's a prince on a planet where they have conversations in song. It's kind of like a musical, so it was kind of fun in that sense, but other than that, Park Seo-joon was a disappointment in terms of the amount of screen time. The biggest problem with Marvel's recent releases is that the world has become too vast, and even if you just watch the movies in theaters, you'll have to keep up with it, but there are so many of them that it's not easy to keep up with them all. It's even more helpful to watch the drama on Disney+, which is also vast. Like this one, Ms. Marvel. I hadn't watched it on Disney+ because I thought it was a little bit kid-oriented, but I watched the movie without any prior information about Ms. Marvel. And she's a big fan of Captain Marvel, so I think that's something that you have to watch the show to find out, because before, when a new character is introduced in a movie, there's a scene where it's explained and it's explained to you, and it's explained to you in the show, so if you're not keeping up with it, you don't know what's what. As we continue to expand the world, there are so many characters, and I think it will become increasingly difficult for moviegoers to tell who is who. As soon as the movie starts, the villain comes out, and then Ms. Marvel has this bracelet or something that the villain has. I don't even know who he is, and it took me a while to get used to it in the beginning because of the situation. Then here comes Monica, and she's not a normal person, she's a hero. With so many characters, it's hard to tell who's who. Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, and Monica all interact with each other. When they use their powers, they cross over into space. If you're on Earth and you both use your powers at the same time, you'll be teleported to another planet where Captain Marvel is. Captain Marvel gets teleported back to Earth, and that's what you see early on. I think it's a very well done VFX effect, but I felt like it was a little bit distracting from the story because it kept changing all the time. And I think the reason we did that is because Captain Marvel's powers are so powerful. The villain, Dar-Ben, is trying to bring water and sun from another planet to save Hala's life. It's Captain Marvel who makes it harder for Hala to live. Captain Marvel probably would have defeated Dar-Ben if she hadn't gotten teleported away. That's a big difference in stats, and I wonder if that penalty was put in place because it makes it less fun. But it does keep things interesting early on and keeps things from getting boring. There's a lot of craziness going on with 3 people taking turns teleporting. So you have to have 3 people together, otherwise it's just not going to be anything. The teleportation, which is really more of a spell for the 3 of us, unravels somewhat haphazardly. It's like, I didn't really do anything, and it just unravels. Plus, Marvel has gotten harder lately with their expanded universe and multiple worlds. You're supposed to watch it like a popcorn movie without thinking about it. There's a lot of scientific terms thrown around and you have to be able to understand them. I don't know how many people can follow along and enjoy it when they're telling you about complex physical phenomena in dialogue. so I think it's a bit of a cop-out to go into that world of science. It's hard to feel the excitement and the development of the story when the first Captain Marvel came out. Honestly, it's not like there's a complicated world. It's just scientific and physical phenomena that are a little hard to understand. But the overall story is not that difficult. Somehow, it feels like this will be the last time we see Captain Marvel, because Brie Larson, the main character, said that she didn't like it because of her own story about casting. There are 2 cookies, but they're not very interesting cookies.